This is how we should be conducting ourselves according to the commandments. The reason why we have breath in our lungs is to keep the commandments. That's it. All this other stuff is a distraction. God want to see if you're going to follow him or if you're going to follow the ways of the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we out here. It's like a little rat race, a little maze. It's a game, a test. Are you going to follow the commandments or are you going to follow sin? You know what I'm saying? Read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Let us hear the summary of the Bible. Let's hear the summary of why we have breath in our lungs. Right? Come on.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
What is the conclusion of why we're alive today?
Fear God and keep his commandments.
What is the conclusion of why we woke up today?
Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
The whole duty, the whole purpose for us living is to fear God and keep his commandments. The reason why we fear God is because if we don't keep the commandments, transatlantic slave trade happens. Judgment happens. That's why we're supposed to fear God. Slavery, oppression, punishment, judgment, damnation. All right? So, fear God and keep his commandments, bro. All right? Let's get some more commandments. Give me, let's try to spit these signs. Give me Numbers 15:38. Now, what manner of persons ought you to be? We already touched the smoking of weed, so you understand that you ain't supposed to smoke weed. You got to overcome that, right? So now let's get you some more commandments. You look at all of us out here, right? You look on our clothes. You see these things right here. You know what these are called? Fringes, right? You familiar? Right? Okay. So now you're supposed to have you some fringes on too. Now why? Read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes.
And said bid them. Bid them means to command them, right? Like how we come out here and command the people. Stop breaking the Sabbath day. God says the seventh day is holy. Today is the seventh day. Keep it separate. Don't be buying and selling out here. Don't do that. Do that on day 1 through day 6. Right. When you get to the seventh day, stop all your buying. Stop all your conducting business. We're supposed to be focused on the Lord. We're supposed to be waking the people up. But hell, if everybody was woke, we wouldn't have to be out here. We'd be able to be having a party back at the school. You know what I'm saying? We got like the women and children back at the school. You know what I'm saying? But because the majority of our people are asleep and rebellious as hell, we got to come out here and try to wake the people up and reach a soul just like yourself. You understand? Read.
That they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
So God says, all you so-called black people, you so-called African Americans, y'all supposed to have fringes in the borders of your garment.
Right.
Like you see on us. Like you sisters supposed to have on dresses and have fringes on the bottom. Because that's your light. When the scriptures say, let your light so shine, it's talking about the laws and commandments. People are supposed to be able to see you keep the laws of God. And they're supposed to be able to see that light. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Throughout their generations.
Now, throughout your generations. Throughout your generations. What does that mean? For the future, right? Hey, big bro. When somebody says throughout your generation, I got you. What is that? What do you think that means? Right. Hey, it's ongoing. It don't never stop. Right. So as long as you creating generations of children, like your children, your children's children, and so on and so forth, you're supposed to be doing this thing. Now let's read that part again.
Throughout.
Start from the top.
Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
You ever heard of fringes before? Big bro, you ever heard of fringes? If you look at this, look at all of the bottom of my shirts, these are called fringes, right? Tassels, right? When you think about Native Americans, right? Did they not have fringes on? They got it out the Bible. That was a commandment that God gave us. You're not African American, my brother. You an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
You are the real Jew.
Right.
Christ and God looks like you, brother. Christ and God look like your children. We are the gods of the earth, bro. But we have failed. We failed in this earth, man. That's why we living like rats and roaches. That's why we at the bottom of society, because we ain't taking heed to what the word say. We're gods on earth, bruh. Give me Psalms 82 and 5 so you don't think 82 and 6. So you don't believe my words. Believe what the scriptures say. Believe what the scriptures say. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, you are gods.
God said, I've opened my mouth and spoke to you, and I said that ye are gods. You are God on earth. Read.
And all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men.
He said you are gods, and you are all children of the Most High, but you're going to die like men and fall like one of the princes. Why? Because we're not keeping the commandments. Because we'll pollute our bodies with smoke. We'll pollute our bodies with pork. Guess what? We ain't supposed to eat no pork. But a lot of our people are obese, have high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, and so on and so forth because of the foods we put in our body. Everybody right here getting gas, right? They getting gas, right? Majority these cars right here probably take 87 regular. What happens if they put diesel in them cars? What's gonna happen to the car? It ain't gonna work. It's gonna break down. So when you look at us, the blacks and Hispanics, we're putting all sorts of food in our body that ain't supposed to be in our body. So now our bodies are breaking down. Now we dying from a whole bunch of diseases. Read.
But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
So go back. So now, because we're breaking the commandments of God, now we dying like regular men. We're not like everybody else, bro. We're better than everybody on the face of the earth. That's what the scriptures say. So now let's go back to the commandment about the fringes. Because he said put fringes. Just start from that point. Throughout your generations. He said put fringes on your garments throughout your generations. Come on.
Numbers chapter 15 verse 38. In the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
Now like you see, right? On all of our, it's in the border of our garment. Border of our shirt. Like what's your nationality, young bro? What's your nationality, young bro? Black and Salvadorian. What's your father?
My dad's Salvadorian.
Salvadorian, right? You familiar with the Mayans? Right? Can you tell me a little bit something about how they used to dress?
I thought they didn't wear too much clothes.
Oh, hell no. That's what they want you to think. they taught us that we were savages, right? That's what they want you to think. They want you to think they was walking around butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was some tribes that was doing some crazy stuff. Cannibalism and whatnot. You see it depicted in that movie Apocalypto, right, with Mel Gibson. They was doing some crazy stuff, but all of our people wasn't living like that, man. We was a civilized people, man. Civilized, we built up America. You know what I'm saying? It was a group, man. Why do you think they got the pyramids? That people, it's a tourist site. You know what I'm saying? In Mexico, Guatemala, Salvador, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, don't get it twisted, man. We was not no savages like that. We was civilized. We, in fact, civilized the so-called white man. The white man, he was a savage, right? He was a caveman. You know what I'm saying? We helped him out, and then he obviously took our help and just and took our trust and abused it. You know what I'm saying? But when you so now look, matter of fact, to that point, right? So now there was certain tribes that was crazy as hell, doing some crazy stuff. But the bulk of our people weren't living like that. All right. So now that's how we was dressing. You know what I'm saying? Different variations and styles of like this. But you see that on the border of their garment? Fringes. That's biblical. That's in the Bible. God told them to dress like that. God told us to dress like that. But when they came and conquered us, they turned us into this. Butt naked. That's you know what I'm saying? Savages. Butt naked. Not covering up. Now, like I said, there were certain tribes doing some crazy stuff. But that wasn't the bulk of us. They stripped us of all of our dignity. They stripped us of our bonnets. You ever see the feather bonnets, right? That we was wearing in Native Americans, Choctaw, Seminoles and all that, right? They stripped us of all that stuff. And they said, nah, I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna strip you butt naked. Right? They took, exactly, that was our crowns, right? But they stripped us from that. So now, I went there to show you that the fringes, the tassels, is biblical. God commands us all to wear that throughout our generations. So read.
That they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
He said, look, you're supposed to be wearing fringes throughout your generations. As long as you still creating children, we supposed to be wearing fringes. Now, why did the Native Americans, why did the Aztecs, Mayans, the Incas, why did they have fringes on? Like, you ever been to Day of the Dead? You ever been to a Day of the Dead, sis? You ever been to the Day of the Dead? Dias de los Muertos, right? And you always see big dresses, right? You see the fringes and tassels, right? Swinging, right? That's in the Bible. That's biblical.
Right.
God commanded Native Americans, the Aztec, Mayans, the Incas, Taínos, Boricuas, to wear fringes, to wear tassels. That's a heritage documented in the Bible. But today, we no longer we don't follow the heritage of our ancestors. We follow the heritage that America gave us. We follow the heritage that the white man gave us. We've been destroyed. We got to get back to our roots.
Right.
Read.
throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
And God says, Cameron, to put on your fringe. You get a flyer, sis? Y'all get a flyer? All right, check out that information. All right, on the border of the fringe, we're supposed to put a ribbon of blue. All right, so he said, have you some tassels, and make sure it's a ribbon of blue on there. Now, why?
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon this.
He said that ye may look upon it. Look, I can look down upon this and see it with my two eyes. Read.
And remember all the commandments of the Lord.
He said he's supposed to do what?
And remember all the commandments of the Lord.
These are a reminder to keep the Sabbath. These are a reminder not to commit adultery. These are a reminder not to lie. We're supposed to be able to look down at these, man, and remember the commandments of God. These are to help keep you in check. So we should be seeing you and looking down and be able to see fringes on you. Because that's what God commands, all right? So that's a simple, basic commandment that we can apply in our life. Simple, basic. Those are the basic. Give me 1 Peter 2:2. I'm going over the easy commandments right now. Ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying? These are the basic ones. That weed smoking might be a little bit hard, but that's where you got to get with your brothers. You got to actually put in that extra effort. You know what I mean?
I know this is another thing that the pastors be on TV, all that be talking about is money and shit. None of this shit about them.
Yeah, they ain't dealing with the problems of our people. I'm going to show you what they're doing too right after this. Read that.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word.
God says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word. Desire the basics of the word. Hey, sis, get you a flyer before you go. All right? I think I went to school with you too. Man, Keisha, huh? Yeah, I think I went to school with her. So, we're supposed to desire the sincere milk of the word, the basic. That's why we going over the basics, bro. You know what I mean? Keep the beard, you know what I'm saying? Don't shave off your head, put the fringes on, keep the Sabbath. It's easy to keep the Sabbath, man. Come together with like-minded people, you know what I'm saying? Get in the scriptures and learn more. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. Those are simple, basic commandments. So that's what's going to help you grow. Did you read that part already?
That's right.
Read that.
That ye may grow thereby.
That ye may grow thereby. You want to grow in this truth, right? We want to reach the fullness and stature of Christ. The way we're going to do that is focusing on the basics. Desiring the basics of the word that we can grow thereby. Because guess what? In the Bible, it's a very vast book. From Genesis all the way to Revelations, man, it's a lot of deep mysteries in there. Some people start learning the Israelites and they want to learn all the mysteries. They want to learn the deep stuff. They want to learn when Moses was on Mount Sinai, the conversations he had with God and what was this and that. Look, focus on the basics, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep the commandments. Let's start with the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? The basics. Get Sirach 37 or 39. I think it's 39 and 1. I think it's 39 and 1. Let me see. Yeah, read that.
The book of Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
He that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High. Desire the sincere milk of the word, the basics. Focus, put your mind on God's laws. Read.
And is occupied in the meditation thereof.
And you occupy yourself in the meditating of the Bible, meditating of the scriptures, meditating of God's laws. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Marriage is honorable. Don't defile your temple. Don't eat crab, shrimp, lobster, pork, and all that foolishness. Those are the basics. Come on.
We'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
But first, you got to meditate on the law. And then, once you start getting the basics down, then you will seek out the ancient, the wisdom of the ancient. Come on.
And be occupied in prophecy.
Then you can start learning the more heavier things in the scriptures, the meat. But first you got to deal with the milk. When a baby come out the womb, he ain't eating no steak. He ain't eating no chicken. He on milk. He or she on milk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to build up to that. So when you coming in, focus on the basics, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I was you, I'd be focusing on, you know what? I need to overcome this smoking this weed. Because guess what? You may be cool right now, but it's going to come a time where you're going to start jonesing. It might be as soon as you get in the car. You know what I'm saying? You probably got something ready to roll up right now. You know what I mean? And this thing calling your name. But you got to be mad. You got to fight that. You got to fight that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight it. Was it going on?
That was it.
All right. Get me Leviticus 11.
So,
What kind of foods you eat?
I'm trying to eat more healthy, but like it's hard, bro.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. All right, let me give you I'm gonna give you God's dietary guideline for us. All right. You know any people that got any diseases? Gout, hypertension. Right. What about obese? Obese, right? Strokes, heart attacks, cancers. You know what I'm saying? Sickly, right? We know a lot of people that's just sickly. You know what I'm saying? Different ailments and whatnot. A lot of that is due to our diet. God gave us a guideline of what to eat and what not to eat. Get the last two verses. God said, look, hey, I created all these creatures, these animals, right? These animals you can eat. These animals you cannot eat. Remember from the beginning, at first, before the flood, we was all vegan. You know what I'm saying? All vegetarian. All we ate was the crops and produce, fruits and vegetables. That's all we ate. But after the flood, God allowed us to eat certain beasts, certain animals, right? Read that.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 46. This is the law of beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth. Verse 47. To make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
To make a difference between clean animals and unclean animals. Read.
And between the beasts that may be eaten.
The beasts that may be eaten are the clean animals. Read.
And the beasts that may not be eaten.
And the beasts that may not be are the unclean. We ain't supposed to be eating it. So now let's go further up in the chapter to see about some of these beasts that we can't eat, some of the beasts we cannot eat. All right, read.
The book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
God says the swine. You know what the swine is? That's that pig. Can you eat pig? No. God says the pig is unclean to you. Unclean. We ain't supposed to be eating that thing. No honey glazed ham. No ham hocks. No bacon. You gotta leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? Now what happens if you decide to eat it? Hold that and get Deuteronomy 28:61. What happens if we say, man, to hell with that. I need me some honey glazed ham. Man, hey, straight out of the mouth, bro. Now we're going to show you in the Bible. That's what God said. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law.
Cancer ain't written in the Bible. Gout ain't written in the Bible. What the hell? Hypertension ain't in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Diabetes not in the Bible. None of those things are documented in the Bible. But he said every sickness and every plague which not in the Bible, which I did not document, what about it?
them will the Lord bring upon thee.
He said, I'm going to bring upon you as a race of people. When you look at the statistics, blacks and Hispanics are some of the most unhealthiest people when it comes to disease. Guess what? We die more from disease than we do from gang violence and stuff like that. The shootings and all that. And what's taking a lot of our lives is our health. The way we eat is destroying us. That was crafty counsel of this white man, because guess what? He makes all the cheap stuff defiled with foods we ain't supposed to eat. Pork is cheap. Yeah. Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at him. He got to do what he got to do to stay on top. But we have to do what we have to do to obey God, and for God to have some mercy on us and restore us back to our rightful place, which is on top of the earth.
Right.
Ruling. You know what I'm saying? We were rulers, bro. But right now, remember, he said, I said ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High, but you're going to die like men and fall because we broke the commandments. Because we said, I don't know, that honey glaze look good, man. That honey glazed ham look good. I'm going to just go on and take me a slab of that, put it on some bread with some mustard and whatnot. Nah, God say don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now jump up to verse, you go back to Leviticus. Jump up to verse 4, or read verse 3.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 3. Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven-footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall he eat.
So you know what chewing the cud is? Right there, he just let us know what we can eat. We read in verse 7 what we couldn't eat, which is pork. But what can we eat? He said a beast that's cloven-footed and cheweth the cud. Cloven-foot is a hard split hoof, like a cow, right? A cow has a split hoof, right? It's hard, that's cloven, and it's split. And they also chew the cud. Chewing the cud is when an animal has multiple stomachs. They chew the food, swallow it, it goes down to its stomach, and then they regurgitate it, chew it again, and it goes into another stomach. And that's the process, all right? Pigs don't have that process. It don't have a filtration system to cleanse what it intakes. So like if a pig, the only way a pig can release toxins is through throw up, piss, or boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? Cows, you know, like pig don't have sweat glands. Cause like us, right? When we sweat, we're releasing different toxins out of our body. So the cows and things, they have those things, but pigs do not. God does not want us to eat the pig because the pig is supposed to be here to clean the filth off the land. You know what I'm saying? So you can eat you some cow, you can eat you some goat, you can eat you some sheep. You know, you can eat a buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Deer. You can eat you some deer, some venison. Get verse 9.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Now you like seafood? You eat shrimp, right? So now this seafood, you like seafood, sis? You like seafood? Do you believe in the Bible at all? Hey, I want to show you something that's in the Bible. Read that. If you like seafood, God gave us a guideline on what seafood we're supposed to eat. Read.
Leviticus 11 verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas.
He said, whatsoever hath fins and scales. Does shrimp have fins and scales? It got scales? A shrimp got scales? No, it got a shell.
Right.
It got shell. So, hey, my sister with the edge. Does shrimp have fins and scales? Cause you know, like with a tuna fish, right? You gotta scale it, right? Do you have to do that with shrimp? Not at all, because it has a shell. You just take it out of the shell.
Right.
God says you're not supposed to eat the shrimp. It's a bottom feeder. The shrimp is in the ocean to keep it clean, to eat all the boo-boo and the carcasses. Like when it comes to freshwater, you got crawdads, right? Those are at the bottom of the rivers and whatnot. They're there to clean the river. But we take them out and put that stuff into our bodies. They're bottom feeders. God says don't do that.
What is a nation? nation is men leading by example.